What is up, everybody? Turboverse Steve here today. So apparently, Cyberpunk has got a next generation patch. One of his next generation patch, we got a patch to make it play better and run better. And apparently, these Sony fanboys have been losing their minds over this stuff because I guess it has a higher frame rate than the Xbox Series X version of PS5 does. So it's kind of like they're celebrating this as a W when it's really not because it's really not because somebody else posted with this thread. Somebody else posted and said the Xbox version has a higher resolution, better loading, and actually has NPCs in the game world, while the PlayStation 5 version has 10 more frames. So the PlayStation version just has 10 more frames per second, while the Xbox version has a better resolution, better loading times, and actually has NPCs, which means actually like people you can see in the environment. While the PS5 doesn't have too many NPCs in their game world, which is a drastic difference if you're playing the game. So, like you said, PlayStation fanboy is another W for PlayStation. Sure, after having one-fourth of the criteria is quite the victory. Enjoying the lower bar you set and maybe brush up on fractions. Like that is pretty funny. They're actually celebrating having 10 more frames in a video game. Meanwhile, but every other aspect of the game is lacking. So, and Cyberpunk is a game too. It's like people still care about this game like that. To be honest, I was like, this is the major flop of CD Projekt Red that people were super excited about. Then it's like they just completely lied to their audience. I was like, I don't even care about this game anymore, to be honest. It was like, I really care about CD Projekt Red in general because after this game, it's like, who cares about this game at this point? How long? This game's been almost a year now. Is it even fixed now? Is it fully fixed? Because this game was buggy when I tried to play it. I was like, I just gave up on it because it was too buggy. It was like way too many bugs. I just stopped playing it. But people are still talking about this game. This is insane. So, I see people are saying in the comment section. LOL, what are you looking at? Xbox beats on resolution actually has NPCs in the game world. The NPCs are not the problem for the drops, he said in the video. With the much faster SSD, way lower crowd density or resolution, LOL of course is going to run smoother. When are people going to learn nothing matters other than FPS? Everything else comes afterward. So FPS is the only thing that matters. Meanwhile, everything else is lacking. Okay. Let's see. Someone didn't watch the video. The PS5 version has significantly less level of detail and worse resolution, and a lot less NPC count. There is no PS5 version, it's the PS4 version. You conveniently forgot to mention that the PS5 is running lower resolution and with almost no NPCs, although you're playing on Cyber Lockdown 2077. I mean, under those conditions, I'd expect better performance, wouldn't you? Yeah, if there's a lot less people in the world, then of course it's gonna be less. It's less to render. It's gonna be less. Of course, it'll be high. It should be higher performance at that point. Let's see. The problem in the shootout/stress tests have nothing to do with NPC count. These things are carefully curated for story missions and are like on each console. Dips and story mode missions are just bad, no way around it. I got a PS5, but bruh, if there's no NPCs or cars on the street like the last time I played it, I'm deleting that game. LOL. Wait for the native PS5 version. Great games on PC. Once consoles catch up, it will be great there too. LOL, you don't even have NPCs in the PS5 version. Like, this is the Xbox Series X version. A lot of people. Wow, that's a drastic difference. Like, nobody there. And they're bragging about the frames per second increase. Like, really? This is not the game you want to brag about, to be honest. If it's missing that much stuff, you don't want to brag about that. That's just insane. Like, there's a 9-day difference between the Xbox version and the PS5 and the PlayStation version. So we're not gonna mention this. Yeah. It's like this is. Oh, okay, nice. Oh, wow. The Delta variant has been announced in 9 cities, so NPCs are practicing social distancing on PS5. Okay. Xbox just disabled three teraflops to match a PS5. They do it because they are pro-consumer. Okay. The ass kicked. It can hardly hold 10 extra FPS, all while having less world density and way lower resolution. LOL. With those downgrades, it should have at least 20 more FPS in every situation than Series X. Yikes! Big L for PS5 on this one. It's like Why would you even make like this is the thing I don't get about these Sony fans, bro. They would take anything as a W, even if it makes them look bad in the long run. Because I don't think nobody, most people would probably only pay attention to Cyberpunk 2077 game after like it launched so badly. People weren't even paying attention to this game. But now you brought attention to this game again because you said this game is so much runs so much better on Xbox Series X. So when we go to examine, does it really run better on PS5 than Series X? We realize that this game has a lot of issues with it. That there's a lot of issues with this game. Like lower is like let me see what do you say again? Lower so the PS5 has lower resolution, slower loading times, and actually has less NPCs than the Xbox version. So you are bringing attention to that when you try to take a W for this nonsense. Damn, I thought frame rates didn't matter with you ponies. Night City is more densely populated with NPCs compared to PS5. Better details, slightly less frame rates. L, here you go. You mean the Ghost Town edition of the PS5 running at lower resolution? And that's the win for PS5. Must be a reason they took the people out and it's a lower resolution. Is this supposed to be a metropolis, not deserted? It's not been a good week, Ma. No one believed my BS on Twitter. We're back to scraping the bottom of the barrel for some positive PlayStation news. I see, can't you just enjoy games without feeling the need to compare? Wow. Sony fanboys getting real desperate. They are at this point. Like, this is really bad. Like, why would you want to take that as a W? Like, it's just sad. As much as I prefer the PS5, you can't judge the two based on a game using last-gen code. Cyberpunk is still using backwards compatible modes. Sure, Xbox has better features for it, but it's just still last-gen code. They also didn't utilize the PS5 SSD enough. Have you seen the load time? CD Projekt Red? Facepalm. Mate, the frames is the only thing. The resolution and the game meant to be about interacting with NPCs. On PS5, there are no NPCs. Enjoy. Wow. Considering it was running far better than the SimStation before the update, it's clearly a bug. Post this again when they patch it. Wow. So they made it worse? Would still much rather play the Series X version because unlike most Sony fanboys, my TV doesn't cost less than my console. PlayStation loses this one, lower resolution, longer loading times, and less crowd density. Let's see the other. Let's see if people in the other comment section. This one. Exclusives are the only thing that matters. When your console isn't better than anything else, so when Forza 5 and Halo Infinite launches, you'll see them change narratives again. Okay. Damage control. I don't think you guys know what that means. More like you guys are sticking your head in the sand. LOL. You got 1 out of 4. Congrats. That's because it's running in backwards compatible mode, which uses PS4 Pro settings, versus the Series X, which uses Xbox One X settings. Still, the Series X version is far more unstable. As someone said, frame was the most important thing. Who was that again? Oh yeah, Phil Spencer. And Phil has not had anything to do with Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red hasn't updated the Xbox One version in ages because they have been so focused on PlayStation to get that version into a working state so they can get it back on the store. I imagine they will soon patch the Xbox versions. I was like, I don't care about this game until, to be honest, I don't care about this Cyberpunk 2077 game until it's like fully patched. There's no more patches to go to. It's like it's like in a playable state that you can actually finish the game from start to end. I don't care about the game until then, to be honest, but I guess it's just more Cyberpunk 2077 news, I guess. And I guess some fanboys are going to take a W from this patch. Let's see. I mean, it seems like they perform about the same, and PlayStation is prioritizing that thing that everyone has been clamoring for since the start of a generation back in 2013, whereas Xbox is prioritizing what they feel is more important. It's a lot he's leaving out with this little quote right here, this little tweet right here. They're prioritizing frame rate, but they're like lacking everything else though. So it was like, what's the point of that? What's the point? It's great that PS4 players get to play the game in a decent FPS. I enjoyed it not long after release, as being the Xbox did Series X, One X, and others a little later. Having to wait 6 months is not good, but you got it, even if the city looks bare. Like so the game's been out for 6 months. Like, this is just ridiculous. And it's still not even fully patched yet, so it's gonna be like almost a whole year till at minimum, probably a whole year till they actually fixed everything about the game. Like, this is. Both are bad, different kinds of bad. Better visuals but worse gameplay. Better gameplay but worse visuals. None of these is worth paying attention to. Check back when they actually deliver the native next-gen version. Let's see. When the Xbox version has more frames, Sony Smurfs, you can't tell the difference. When PS5 version has a few frames more, Sony Smurfs, ha, take the Xbox, our version looks better, you hate to see it. 10 more frames in certain spots, they act like it's the entire game. If the Xbox version has all these extra settings, maybe it shouldn't, and it would actually run the game at steady frame rate. It's pulling more weight than it can handle. 10 frames, it isn't really that much loss, but okay. 12 teraflops and it can't even do 60 FPS on the Xbox One game, pathetic. And PS5 can't have NPCs on screen, pathetic. Let me pull up that picture again. Like, that is pretty ridiculous. Like people are really celebrating this. Like, let's pull the comparison again. Wait, which one was it? Let me get a better one, because this is the actual comparison of the screen of people. One has a full amount of people on it. This is the other one. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, and they're bragging about this. It has more frame rates. Meanwhile, it's like nobody in the city whatsoever. Like, that's just bonkers. So, like I said, the game still looks trash to me. I won't play this till they fully patch this thing all the way. There's no more patches to go to like fully in a playable state. Because right now it's still unacceptable. To be honest, it's still unacceptable. I don't know why these PlayStation guys trying to take a W for this. They're just really desperate at this point. But yeah, this is still unacceptable. To have the whole empty street, that's bad. Like, why would you want to play a game where it's like no people in the open world? It's like this is like a ghost town, and they're bragging about this. Like, how desperate do you have to be to brag about this? It's to take this as a W. The Xbox version has people in it. The PlayStation version doesn't. Like, it's just sad at this point. They're just they're just trying to get a W off anything at this point. So I'm gonna conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.